good day. Well, let's see if they can find a way to bounce back very quickly as we got G2 Minnesota taking on the Boston Breach to kick off our Sunday. Let's get it on. And Sky's already given us an opening double. Has Minnesota already feeling pretty frisky, especially with Kremp's route, but it's red, it's dealt with. Estriel trying to force the issue forward to flip spawns around just a touch, and now it's just down to dealing with Purge, which they're not quite able to do, and things will stabilize in the 50-yard line.
Yeah, G2 just soaking up as much time as they can. Eventually, Spark's going to fly on in, alleviate some of that pressure, but Kremp quickly filling in the gaps, lines up another two, and Minnesota so far dominating all the mid-map pressure and this early P1. Now with only 20 seconds left, Boston Breach need to play a little bit slower because you don't want to flip all the way across the map, but you're losing every single fight, and now the task gets a lot more tough.
Ooh, but Snoopy going to give you 3 from front couches. That will allow this string of players in the Breach to make their way over to P2 before the hardpoint opens, so no spawns in the back confirmed yet. But skies will drop. Boston still with the numbers inside the hardpoint, and Mamba can only do so much for couches, so G2 are a bit staggered. They've got spawns, but they're having a hard time seeing the hill.
Yeah, because Boston are tight in their setup around this P2 area. They're learning from their mistakes yesterday versus Paris. Couldn't get any time off of this HP. So this time we're not going to take any risk to push out any of these cuts. Just bank on our tight setup and you keep on finding all the kills. Who cares if G2 have the backs? Well, they can't get into time.
No, not at all. This has been a very solid hold from the front. Still 23 seconds to fight for, and finally G2 are going to find a couple of wins. Spark turned around, only able to find one. Nasty, last one left, will be dealt with. So scrap time of about 18 seconds go to G2, but all things told, considering Boston never held spawns, you'll take that if you're a Breach fan.
No, without question, man, because usually Boston just break down off of those first couple of gunfights, but they were able to withstand 2 pushes there from G2. To get 30 seconds off, just holding down counter positions so its teammates can fill the gaps.
Purge, good read over towards mid-cut. Well-cooked nade, able to find one. Gun up for the second, that will work. Plus, you've got a little bit of a zone out front by Snoopy. So Purge, after the regen, looking for more. Able to get himself onto 3 in a row, and then 4. Huge play from Purge. And now Boston in a very firm position of control here at 3.
Yeah, G2 starts working some of these routes, so Kremp's gonna try to work his way through Dragon. He gets sniffed out by Snoopy. You haven't been able to get close towards his P3 time. Boston Breach, his setups is unbreakable currently. Now with only 20 seconds left, G2 have to cut their losses and start thinking about new. You're gonna have 2 players contested towards the Yo. They both win the gunfights, and you have players around the back, so this is a good moment for G2.
Yeah, route from Estriel must have been up top through window because Boston had a member who spawns like they're intended to, and Boston are getting away with murder through the first set of hills.
And this is one of their money maps. They need to start to lock this in because Boston Breach, a team who can't win rotations on Den, have beaches in a bunch the last 3 hard points in a row. So we gotta start to do the easy part quicker. And that's just being the team early towards some of these hard points. But at least for now, G2 are maintaining the hold from the front side until you get overwhelmed out of the pressure. Boston Breach get the break.
Yeah, it's just another one of those moments where G2 is going to look back on the VOD for this and be like, man, I mean, timing-wise, we're hitting the right routes, we're getting the right positions, they're just not getting the numbers to dominate the spawns that they want. So, in a little bit of a scramble mode through the first set of hills, and we'll listen to see how G2 try to get themselves back in this game.
Gonna flank P2, gonna flank P2.
Other cross.
Left 30, guys, left 30.
Come already, 1 bullet, nice, someone close. One bullet.
He's out, time.
Time.
Time. One shot, mid cut. Mid-cut, 2 red.
I'm even out.
I'm leaving
I'm playing left.
2 bottom red. One can spawn 5. They can.
Yeah, you can dip.
Play mid-cut though.
Oh, you top blue. No, let's have top blue. We're good.
I got wall. I'm front of you. Get a trophy.
I'm back.
I spawned so far.
I have your bag.
Yo, I'm just gonna be weak. In front of me. One more time. I'm pushing in garage. Watch your lobby. Back garage again. Watch out back garage. In garage. 2 guards. Both there. Garage. I have lobby.
Close weak.
Last 2 were there. 2 close.
No one's weak.
I'm lucky lobby. 2, 3. Get down. Sit down. Make him away.
Close.
2
Not right.
I'm safe. Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, that's 3 times so far in this map, Jay, where honestly, if you're G2, you're just going to start claiming rotten luck. You're right about to get the spawns for P2.
Team early to the punch off the rotation, but your setups are easily broken into, and then when you're having to break back in, it requires someone to do something that you're not supposed to do, and that's like multi-kills out of multi-kills. So G2 so far, you have no idea what you're going to see when they spawn in on the map. Sometimes maybe good, sometimes maybe bad, but at least for now, Boston are capitalizing on all of it.
Yeah, that's definitely taking advantage of small mistakes or just small mistimings for G2. And on top of that, the SMGs are playing lights out right now for Boston, mostly because G2 can't get a setup put together. So Nasty on 4, winning over the dojo position of the map. Good read by Purge at mid. That will stop an early rotation over to 4, but G2 are taking long routes, and Boston are going to get Spartan in position to try to chow that.
Yeah, they know they're already in a position at this P4, so we can take our time. We have the spot towards the backside. Win us the game. Who's going to lead, find the opening kill? Everyone rallying through the back door, but it's Skies. It's the rest of G2 with the crossfires, holding it down from the front.
Yeah, and you get Mamba, who was watching over towards the rooftop side to get a read onto Snoopy's pinch timing over through small. So really good stuff there from G2. They're able to get themselves into a more convincing setup to receive this next hit. Although Nasty is putting some pressure down at pillars, able to find one before the trade comes out. Mamba now by himself on rooftops, only able to get a little bit of damage in, but that makes life a little bit easier for the G2 SMGs. Kremp able to firm the front line, and that's a little bit more like it if you're G2 through the first 40 seconds of the hill.
Yeah, finally a good moment here for G2 in this game. Keep in mind, this is one of their stronger hard points, and finally starting to show why as Mamba lines up a double through the outskirts. Final 15 is going to be contested by Boston, but not for long. So this has been a full 60 hole for G2 to kick themselves into the mix.
Due to the timing of their spawn at rooftops. Purge, Snoopy, Spart, all trying to hit from the front. Mamba up top, dealing with a couple. Last one to grab would be Spart off the reload. Not able to get the regen nor the reload. He will drop, leaving Nasty by himself. A couple of the members from G2 trying to chase, but Nasty able to punish. Pistol! Nasty able to get the better of 2.5. Purge credit for the third, and he's not done, as now couches will belong to Boston here on P1.
Yeah, that's unbelievable finesse right there out of Nasty. Stall sign for the teammates to get into the play, and you also have players early off the rotation. Snoopy was sitting here with about 35 seconds left in towards the P2. Now they are in control of the map, but G2 do have an opportunity here with 2 players spawning in that point, on the backside of the overload. So you're still trying to contest for these P2 spawns, but Boston have soaked up.
Already one of the 2 contestants have fallen, but Mamba gets there to reinforce just in the nick of time. Snoopy spawning up, holding his life, waiting for his teammates to join him. Nice first win from Snoop. Nade over into the hardpoint, not denied by a trophy, leading to Boston. Now opportunities to try to work their way in from multiple angles. But late trophies will get through, and G2 are still holding 30-point differential in favor of Boston, but it's being cut into nicely by G2.
Man, Skies has valued his life so well in that corner, and all of G2 are just funneling their way back into this P2 hardpoint to keep the numbers on their side. But here comes Mr. Purge. He's been the playmaker so far for Boston in map number 1. Can only take down 2. Try to stall out time for your teammates to get into play, but Mamba strikes for 3, and we're going blow for blow right now. Tie game as we head over to P3.
Yeah, Purge trying to hold off the rotation. Once again, keeps Boston forward. It's forcing G2 to have to consider long routes, and that doesn't feel great considering the current score. Keep an eye on number 4 in red. Kremp wins a gunfight onto Purge. Now an opportunity to pinch. Snoopy caught in the corner, able to get the trades. RG2. Last player up close and personal. Kremp gets the double, and G2 are in the time.
And spawns now flip. So now if you are Boston Breach, you know that you cannot allow G2 to beat you off of this P3 time. So we have to start thinking about that new HP. You're going to contest from middle. You're going to contest from Cabo, and nades are going to be the reason why you find yourself in the number situation. Nasty and Spark combined for all 4. Boston can still win it here.
Split spawn situation though for G2.
What a round.
Boston, good timing from Snoopy. Oh, turned on though by Kremp, and that's huge. Nasty is now up creek without a paddle. 220 to 236. Boston not in a position to get to 4 first. Can Nasty open up the spawns? He's already been seen. Shots from behind. Kremp able to find the win, and G2 are in first.
G2 just gotta have a hold here, Al, but they're already losing gunfights around the back end. You have one player who does get a close spawn, so Estriel gonna spawn right into another gunfight. And unfortunately for Nasty, you lose the numbers through the front. G2 still here and pushing.
Nasty falling off the map could be critical. All of G2 will spawn into pillars largely due to that and Purge having to value his life. But from the front, Spartan Snoop able to at least get some sort of a contest building. Mamba in the corner able to find one, but it's Nasty for two. 240 to 240. Nasty still holding the angle, but shut down by Skies. G2 spawning close. It's a mad dash. A foot race to see who can win the gunfights on top of the time. Spartan able to open things up for one, but not getting that trio is huge. Snoopy in the corner. One more over the top! Snoopy saves the game! 244 to 249! Minnesota still in! And the last gunfight gets them over. Keep in mind as a foreshadowing point, and as we jump on into round number 1, you talked about Skies kind of not getting contested, swapping to an AR. Same for Nasty. Pulls out the scope early, switches over, and he finds the benefit of getting first blood onto Skies, who did try to snipe his way through B.
Yeah, Skies is getting super aggressive up to that side of the map, and now Purge is getting active on the opposite. He's able to spot Kremp, and he should be able to finish out this kill, because Kremp is going to be isolated, but he's finessing, he's dancing, and somehow, some way he's still alive, but Spark finds one.
Yeah, that elimination from Spark keeps the numbers in favor of Boston. And even though it was a little bit sloppy outside of tunnel, you're able to use the numbers to come back to the fight and clean it up pretty quickly. Snipe similar position that Nasty was just in. And that may have been a moment where Sky switches the loadout as the aggression through top mid works out for first blood. Smoke down, Sky's in some trouble. He did swap over to the AR, gives himself a fighting chance, but Snoopy's able to find the beatdown, and then one more behind that. And yeah, how about for Snoop, who is your bomb carrier, and he's got eyes towards A. Late rotation for Minnesota, tagged up by nades, and Boston will use that information to reevaluate what they want to do as Purge almost gets another first blood this time at mid.
But this frag could potentially find an opening. No, not able to bank off the wall the way that he wanted to. And now 35 seconds already golf off the round. Now G2, you see the way they're rallying everyone through the top mid. They were just bombarding with the gunny to use those to their advantage, and now they put themselves in a 1v3.
Yeah. Clean stuff right there, Minnesota.
Now, but look at how aggressive Boston are on the pinch.
Yeah, and this is something that Sky's gonna have to keep his eyes on. And ooh, I don't believe he sees Purge on that long route. So Nasty, knowing that Purge has gotten through, will just watch the tunnel rotation and just allow the timing to lead to a very easy first and second blood. Snoopy now next one up. No problems there for Snoop. And the follow-up, well, maybe. Purge almost able to put the round down in a flawless manner, but Sky's trying to battle back, gets a 1v1 top mid stairs, and nade gonna allow him to stay in this position with help, but no one's watching up top. Purge, good angle, but can't win the gunfight. No follow-up there for Boston. First blood confirmed for G2.
And now G2 is trying to keep their numbers. Everyone's stacked over towards Statue side, but now you're not gonna be prepared for this push out of Boston through tunnel. Nasty finds one, gets information into play, does jump the top mid, but Esther is able to get one and get out. Keep the numbers in favor of G2.
This is a decent read, though, here for Boston. Maybe a chance for them to, yeah, take space at A, if not commit for the plant. Nasty backing up towards tunnel, almost able to win one onto Estriel. Snoopy looking for the trade, but seeing more G2 members will think otherwise of the opportunity in front of them. And instead will reposition. Time now being an issue. Decent shots. Has to try to force something in this 1v3. Back to full health. And a couple extra tags will keep him weakened. And yeah, that's just full send, time ticking, not able to win out the first.
Not expecting that angle through bottom green, is able to make it a 3v3.
And Purge almost able to slip underneath Kremp, but the shots from Nasty's pistol still gets the trade. So the 2v2 we go, 40 on the clock. And G2 have gotten cold feet at A, mostly just to try to give Nasty a weapon. So he's now in full fighting form, not having just to use the scope. Pardon me, Skies, misspoke. Estriel will go for the plant. And Nasty and Spart will have to play the retake 2v2.
You're not going to be able to spot them on the exit, but the information you gain is that they're either sitting top mid or backside their spawn. So can Nasty spot someone with the sniper cross, gets really bad timing, and that sets up Estriel for the first kill, 1v2.
Well, Nasty has found himself a Dravik to play with. This route is going to take a lot of time, so he's going to have to really go from one to the other quickly. Skies watching on the left-hand side will see it. No problems there for the easy.
Beautiful played post-plant.
Uh-oh, what just happened to Mamba? That's not ideal. This round's over. Mamba died somewhere bottom B2. And Nasty hitting that snipe gives Boston just a world to play with 4v2. G2 has to force something.
Yep, you gotta go. Gotta be very quick and efficient on this pinch, or just quick and efficient on the decision that you're gonna make. As both players now split up, they're gonna run right into Estriel.
Was able to find one. Trade out for Purge is good. Bomb collected. Kremp from P1 for a 1v3. Ooh, able to catch some toes on the cross from Spark. But yeah, this is the big problem. It's Nasty right underneath you with the pistol. And yep. 4-3 to count. Patience for G2 on this initial approach. And Skies will once again be responsible for the flank. Boston, no craziness here, just kind of setting themselves up for what very well may be a very heavy contest from the front. That nade landing has Kremp in a weird spot. Snoopy's going to walk away with the first two. Another weird moment for Boston as they just kind of force G2 into a weird spot. To see what G2 want to do, keeping the gas down. Kremp is in a good spot, able to see his shoulder, but oh, he doesn't expect that. Snoopy's down below him. Mamba trying to work with it. Trade goes the way of Boston. And a chance to quickly close this map out.
Yeah, you got the numbers. Just don't force any one-on-one gunfights. Can Snoopy scout anyone towards P2? He does see the player on the backside of the HP spawn, but Estriel up close to personal does find one. Snoopy quickly on the trade, all left up to Skies.
1v2 situation, able to see Purge up top, just bouncing for info. And it looks like Snoopy's going to commit for the plant, giving Skies a chance to isolate, and he's able to win the first. Takes the Dravik, thank you very much. Snoopy off the plant. First couple of shots are in. Oh, Skies, he's got him down to a bullet, knows it, and will take the shell easily. This aggression. Yeah, dude, there's like, let's just get the bomb down and play our post plant. Or let's just take the fight to them. First blood good for Kremp. Spart on the response. Estriel weakened up makes it easy for Spart to double down. Mamba keeps things level though. Sky's now trying to join, but the bomb being down means you have to commit for these gunfights. Pistol works out. Nasty now to the 1v1. Sky's once again for a clutch.
And he only has a pistol. Oh no, he has M15.
And Nasty's gonna get back to the reset. Tags are in. Still a fighting. Oh, Nasty takes the 1v1 little jump slide.
Get the trade on at least the first and onto the second. So another individual player just slows down the push. It was Skies for G2. This time it's Purge. A minute already wiped away from the game clock.
Yeah, 3 eliminations now for Purge in a row. Nasty gonna join him at mid, not able to collect the EMP before it resets, so some work to be done here, especially with the EMP not just being reset, but also the gunfight being reset. Purge back to the fight though, now on 4 in a row. Skies wants to give that a go, but he gets naded as he takes the peaks, and all it takes is a bullet from Purge, who's looking for everything, and now he's on 6. He's gonna grab the EMP and try to join Snoopy over to this A point, and he's completely alleviated the pressure as he gets a win, but from mid-connector, Mamba comes up from behind, finds the kill, and with the help of Nasty, they track him down. EMP now in the hands of Nasty. He's being chased, Spart able to cover. Kremp will drop, and look at the spawn being moved by Purge. Gives an opportunity here for Boston to run, but over the top of the platform. Estriel able to find one before dropping. Pistol out, Nasty gets the kill, but can't find the win to get it over the finish line. Snoopy trying, but the movement puts him in line of sight of Mamba, who holds 30 seconds on the clock. G2 now holding the EMP.
Yeah, now they just need some kills so they can potentially get their own score on the board, but you lose the 2 fights. Now you got to finesse with the EMP, wrap back to your players coming off the respawn. And Boston still have an opportunity to get one on the board. They just need fights to go their way. They don't find the first.
Yeah, you need to find those kills in the next 10 seconds and reclaim the EMP as well. So Boston are going quickly. And hold on a second. If you lose Snoopy here, there may be a chance for Estriel to run. Overtime gonna come through. Estriel wins one with a pistol, slips out over towards panels, has a 1v1 pistol out, trying to set themselves up. You got Mamba working on a long route back, trying to pivot to A.
Mamba's gonna be the lead blocker. They're waiting off the information he's gonna play with, but he doesn't clear out towards low dirt. Just take this right to B.
Yeah, you sure could. G2 coming off spawn realized that, hey, we're spawning A. We got to make sure we clear out this side of the map. Purge going to call in the Hellstorm as Spart finds first blood, Snoopy a second. That should lead to a chance to score here. Mamba's able to find one. Defense rotating over as fast as they possibly can. And there's really not a lot of help here for Nasty thanks to those kills from Mamba. Snoopy's trying to open something up over towards A. The re-pivot back to B. Nasty's down to a single bullet worth of health. Skies find the win, and that's a Hellstorm that really doesn't do anything at all. 3 kills here, though, and Boston could potentially quickly transition to A.
Yeah, this might have been the actual Hellstorm with all the guns, because this could lead to potential score, but your lead blocker loses that initial fight, but thankfully the finesse god in Smart has wrapped it all the way back to B. Snoopy, the lead blocker, just needs to clear out the B point. Trophies are going to be down. You're finding every single kill in the feed, and finally, Boston are on the board.
Holy cow.
He actually gets really good timing on this pinch, but you have one player come off the respawn, and he's holding down the proper angle. So the push gets shut down there from G2. It's like every time they're trying to go on the attack, they're trying to set up like the perfect play possible. We need to add a little bit more finesse to our gameplay to give ourselves more chances, because now Boston are just parking the bus.
2:30 on the clock, and it looks like for Boston, it's a very tactical park the bus of, we're not just holding this back. We're going to try to send one player on an overextension to see if we can open up space. But everyone for Boston will drop now. You have to play reserved in your spawn. Spart, up and over. Misses the timing initially, but is able to find Mamba quickly. Now back up top. Astriel turns that into a double. Now all 3 members for G2 are here. Spawns for Boston are going to be out in Narnia. And I think you just have to play to try to make your way back over towards the A side of the map as quickly as possible for the 3rd EMP location, because G2 are going to get the score, and they still hold the
one extra as well. And Purge falls, so 50 seconds left to go. G2 have the map control. Your lead blocker is going to be Kremp. He's able to find one through mid connector. This way you need to grab it and go left.
Grabs another, but overchalls the shoulder. And as Spart is able to find 2 through bottom dirt, the EMP still stays on the ground. 30 seconds to fight. And with that kill from Snoopy, we may just see everyone battling for position right now to possibly go overtime, as Purge will grab the EMP and drop. Boston still have control over the bottom side of the map here. Hold on a second. Skies is going to have to win this battle. Otherwise, a lead blocker's already gotten through. It's on Nasty. How much can he do? May not make a difference, because Sky's able to find the EMP carrier, and now Nasty drops. 8 seconds on the clock. Minnesota with the map control. And they're going to grab the EMP here to see if maybe Mamba can get through, but he drops just before overtime. We'll get a 4v4.
Yeah, it's a good time. 4v4. No one's willing to scam. Reset back over towards low dirt. And both squads are just not willing to scam. Spart gonna be the only guy for Boston taking a risk.
Mamba the one responsible to watch this OE. He finds him. First blood tallied. 90 seconds for Boston to get one back. Or more. So it's gonna be on for Snoopy and Purge to try to clear out mid. And look at this setup for G2. Everyone in tradable positions.
They have to recover the EMP at this point. At least try to sniff out what the setup is looking like for G2, because you're going to take these risks, and Kremp makes you pay for it. 4v2.
Yeah, Snoopy. Shots to Skies, decent, but no, there's Estriel down low. Last one left is Nasty. Would have to find all 4. Here comes the triple chow up top. Nasty, wait a second, almost with the pistol out, but help was there. G2 able to find
Boston, because here they go through mid P1.
Yeah, that's where they're set up for now. Trying to jump down over the top of Skies. Mamba's able to punish with 2, playing a little bit of oversight on it. Good read on to Nasty, who was trying to push out a P1 on top of that. And now here comes a route from Kremp. Around the back, shutting down Boston from being able to hit from the front. And now he's got 3 from Kremp. Shuts down the play, but the spawns will move here. Skies have the eyes up. Spart good damage, but can't finish the kill. And now Skies is trying to finesse. Can't quite get into the reach of the knife. Found to Snoopy. And a late break is good for Boston.
Yeah, and that's just one of those situations where it shouldn't look like that if you're G2. We know that Kremp is fantastic off of those routes, but you need to be able to
4 in a row, and G2 can now feel out where the next set of Boston spawns are at.
Yeah, you know that 2 players who spawn over towards blue side, so all of Boston have to be breaking through yellow, but you're able to isolate onto Astro for the first kill. Now stuns and nades needs to be felt. You're able to connect a little bit onto Skies, who is on 4 in a row, who's running out of ammo in the M15, and with the stun connecting the way that it did, he eventually gets taken down before a good cause, because now G2 flip spawns and it's still in the time.
Yeah, really good defense of the P3 hill from G2. Take advantage of the favorable kill feed, move spawns to your favor. G2 running and gunning through the lens of Mamba. 13 and 7. Was on a big spree before he got shut down. Estriel's turn, having a bit of a slower start, but as he grabs... A little bit of confusion, a couple of question marks for Minnesota. Did anyone sneak through? They eventually get to the hard point, but here come Boston with a 3-man hit from the front.
Yeah, right through the front door, and they lose the initial fight. So now Estrio and Kremp just need to play their trades. And that's exactly what Kremp is going to do. Just keep the numbers on G2's side, on 3 in a row. Take a little bit of extra space over towards Statue, and now G2 are in flow.
Unbelievable. It's just every time we're here, Kremp gets the job done. Off the reload, has Snoopy in his sights. Easy win. Back over to Spart, who was caught. Oh my goodness. Kremp almost able to do it all himself again. Estriel's nade will provide the trade, and now it's his turn to move forward. Tracks on to Snoopy, damage in, can't find the kills. Boston with 13 seconds trying to crack the code for some scrap time, and they will get a little bit, but not a ton that would be worth writing home about. We'll exit the first rotation at about a 60-point game in favor of G2.
Yeah, now this second set, Boston, there's just one thing you need to really assist him, and you're trying to hold it down, but Nasty finds two, so this should lead to a big for Boston.
Yeah, Nasty actually catches a third as well, finding Skies inside the hard point. Spart will take away the full ace for Nasty. Good read on where Estriel's coming from, but doesn't win the fight there. So Boston were able to find a little bit of time on P1, but the quick contest is in, and G2 still hold on to the P2 side of the map. Good wins, though, on the backside of that setup from Boston. Will now start to change the tide a touch. But Kremp's 1v1 win comes right before G2 spawns up, and with that, G2 will put themselves in position to contest P1 and most importantly, hold spawns for next.
And it's Boston again, choking up the final 5 seconds, but need to get a move on it to try to flip G2 out quickly. Overwhelming them with pressure through the front door, but G2, at least for now, if you get this trade on the Snoop, and they do.
Yeah, but Kremp spawns out, wins the gunfight, but Boston will get a couple of players to spawn close. Still 35 seconds to fight through. This is great time for Boston's prospects. Kremp, 23 and 12, make it 24. Not done. Pistol out. Wants to try to force the fight as he has help nearby. Sky's trying to track things down. Not able to find the shots initially, but it's Estriel behind the play. Able to find a couple. Mamba keeps the middle of the map safe, and G2 will walk away with the back 20.
And now Boston just got to cut their losses and rotate, man.
Tosses a Semtex to give the contest, but he will drop quickly. And now it's just on to Nasty. That is way too quick, way too easy for G2, especially considering Spart had the read on whatever was coming from. So gunfight wins don't come through. Boston in some trouble. Spart giving them a lifeline to recontest the hill, though.
Yeah, big double to open it up. So still try to contest at this P3, but it's Estrio and Mamba in the response. And Snoopy not even having a chance to turn this corner because he's consistently getting stunned, and it can never go back up to 100 HP. G2 with the crossfires are making it difficult for them to even touch this, and they are just running away with this game.
It's just another one of those moments, and I think you really see it in that last 90 seconds or so. Spart is doing everything he possibly can to give his team a chance, but there is no follow-up anywhere on the map. And now you're in Hellstorm, 6 in a row, has a read that Snoopy's somewhere along the back, and he's got his head in a swivel, able to help out from the front on top of that. Snoopy's pinch eventually coming through. Mamba a little bit of damage, has Kremp now looking for the 1v1 win, but waits for Skies, and Kremp will now bump the hard point, create some space, and likely put this game out of reach.
Yep, Kremp is doing Kremp things. Over towards the statue, hitting the wall, bounces, finds another kill in the feed. Didn't have the best performance yesterday in this series, was quickly making up for it here. 34 and 19. Doesn't even need to be in the hill with all the pace he is setting on the map. Final 15 seconds of the P4. Boston are going to go for it, most likely get it, because that's what they've been doing all of this Colossus.
Yeah, they just have to. There's just no other way about it. You have to fight for every single second down 100 with G2 over the 200-point threshold. And Mamba still is going to challenge everything. Boston able to get the rotation
so far in this Colossus, and G2 have beaten them to the punch every single step of the way. And now only need 25 seconds to call series.
Boston have to put the pressure on right here, right now. They need to move spawns in this exact moment. And still, we're just hanging out inside of P1. They're finding a couple of the kills to give them the time, but yeah, man, I mean, we're done. We're stuck. Estriel, shoulders, damage out. Snoopy is able to give you the first. Sky's in some trouble, has to back away. He has got help, though, and it's none other than Kremp in the picture. And that's all you need. G2 will lock down the spawns, reinforce the hill, and now Boston has to flood from the front.
Yeah, now all it is one more wave of gunfights for G2 in this map, and this series is going to be theirs. Spart Arts opens up with the first. Estriel quickly on the trade. Estriel putting the finishing touches, and that is going to be the game.
Unreal, man. It's just another one of those moments. You see G2 And a Colossus.
How you feeling, man? Crushed it on that last map. That's got to feel good.
Feel fantastic. Got a little bounce back after losing to fucking randoms yesterday. So, I mean, it feels good right now. Yeah, it feels good. We needed that.
Yeah, talk to me. You know, I saw your tweet where you said like it was just a terrible performance out of you. What happened yesterday, and what did you change coming into today to where you look like the normal Kremp once again?
Honestly, I think when we play on, for example, the server we play them on, it's not like they have an advantage because we're all on like somewhat the same ping, especially with the ping tool. It's more so like I play very straight up, and I think I learned that like I need to play more creddy sometimes, get the free kills. And like I got exposed on like a 50 ping, so because I'm just challenging everything, so I look dumb.
And then
I had to learn from that.
Let me ask you one follow-up about your team. So, you know, we talk up here a lot about Rookie of the Year and like who's going to win it. And lately we've been leaving Mamba out of that discussion a bit just because he doesn't light up the stat sheet. Can you talk to the fans and us about what he does for you guys and why he's so important as a teammate?
Yeah, honestly, I feel like he should be front runner. In my opinion, I feel like he's a fantastic player, great teammate, and is knowledgeable about the game. But I also feel like he's one of the more aggressive ARs, so his stats don't depict actually how he's performing. You know what I mean? Like you can have a 0.9 AR, for example, Kenny some other years, but he was still a fantastic AR.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? It's just a pressure player. He's playing for the win. Not a lot of people are.
That is fact.
I'm about to say that kind of sounds exactly like what Ant has been saying about Mama during this entire time. And Kremp, I want to ask you about that map number 3, the Overload. Was it as uncomfortable to play as it was to watch? Because that might have been one of the worst overloads we might have had to see this season.
Nah, that was actually atrocious. Actually a ball. We just move on, go forward, and we realize we got to learn from it. We already talked about it, honestly. So
yeah,
nice. Well, hey, obviously a fantastic win. A good opportunity for you. Talk to the fans of G2, man. This is a big win for you guys. Obviously, you know, on paper, it looked like you would win this matchup. But just from a stats level, looking at your record now, this is a huge win for this major that's coming up. Talk to the fans, people at home.
I appreciate everyone from G2 for their support. Appreciate my family, my girlfriend, all my friends. Appreciate everybody. People saying we're inconsistent. I mean, the game's inconsistent itself, but I do think we're still one of the better teams, and everything else is outside noise. So stay confident, stay with us, and we're going to keep winning.
There you go. That's Kremp, G2. Crushed it today, my man. Congratulations.
All right, thank you. Thank you.
Cheers. Another good interview.
Good
insight on Mamba, too.
Yeah.
That was some fun conversations we had in the green room there.
Yeah, we'll have to keep his name in there.
I can't pick G2 anymore. This literally proved it. I said it. I was like, I felt like I was on